Can I say something that just might challenge you a bit? What if your hair isn't stuck? It's just in a season of growth that your gut is actually controlling. You've switched the products, you've tried the oils, you've been consistent, but your hair still feels very dry. It looks a little thin and like it's not responding no matter what you do. What if the issue isn't what you're putting on your hair, but what your body is struggling to process within? Today, we're unpacking the hidden connection between your gut and your follicles and why your hair might actually be growing, just not in the way that you can see it yet. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Do you want healthy, full, manageable, natural hair in simple solutions, but struggle with finding safer options you can trust and won't take all of your time and energy to search? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Ashley, wife, mom, and Jesus BFF. I learned the secret of how to care for my hair and save time while maintaining it. Holistic care. So if you're ready for healthy hair, better health, and faith that helps you stay consistent, grab your comb, your brush, and your Bible because it's time to grow. So one of the things that I struggled with for the longest time was seeking validation. And it showed up a lot even when I was in the stylist chair. I would ask, is my hair growing? Because I always was looking for that validation to make sure that the products in my routine that I was staying consistent with before going to the stylist was actually working. And if someone or one of them responded with, I could kind of see the growth, but not really, it would be so devastating because I'm like, what do you mean? I've been consistent using these products and everything. My hair should be longer than what you're actually seeing. And this can be so frustrating, but let me tell you that hair growth, it isn't always visible. There are internal rebuilding phases, and I didn't know too much as how nutrition can actually connect to hair growth. Honestly, when I first started taking care of my hair when I went natural, I thought it was mostly the products doing the work. But then later on, I started to learn that it wasn't not only the products that made your hair retain its length, but it was also the routine as well as what you were putting into your body. See, your body prioritizes survival and repair before cosmetic growth like hair. So if you're in lack of iron, then once you start taking that iron or once you start prioritizing that nutrient in your diet, if you've been lacking it for some time, it's going to go to those problem areas before it goes to something like hair. Now, hair is very important, but that over like your heart health and everything is going to prioritize that. Your body is actually really smart. And I also want to say, if you've been rocking with us for a while, then you know in the book of Esther, there was a lot of moments where the Lord was working in those hidden seasons for Esther. And it's the same thing for us. He often works in hidden seasons before you could actually see the thing. So you have to stay encouraged. Because just because you don't see the growth doesn't mean your body isn't actually doing the work. Now, let's take a deeper dive into our gut health. Now, our hair follicles, it rely on nutrients like iron, zinc, biotin, amino acids. All of this is very important to maintain our hair structure and to keep it growing and just being strengthened over time. However, if you have a poor gut health, this is going to equal poor absorption, even if your diet is quote unquote healthy. See, we could eat all the right things, but if our gut health isn't really absorbing those nutrients, then all of that is going to go out the window. And this is what happens when it comes to inflammation. Inflammation in the gut, it can shift that energy away from hair growth because your body is really trying to figure out like what's going on. And so any nutrient that you put into your body is going to prioritize your hair, your organs over your hair. Now, how can we look at this further? Well, you can eat the right foods, but if your gut is compromised, then your hair is going to be underfed. You're not just what you eat, but how you're absorbing your foods are really important. So, what are the signs that your gut might be affecting your hair? And these are actually some of the signs I didn't know what was happening with myself when I experienced fibroids. But these were some of the beginning signs that I was actually noticing for myself as well. And so, if you've experienced like a lot of bloating, constipation, or irregular digestion, like something is off, this could be a sign that your gut is affecting your hair, as well as you're experiencing a lot of dryness. Like, it doesn't matter what you put on your hair, your hair follicles immediately turn dry, and even it turns kind of brittle, in spite of you being consistent with your moisture routine. You could do the LOC method and everything, but you still experiencing a lot of dryness. Another thing that happens is that the shedding feels unexplained. Like, you understand the hair cycle. You understand there's growth phase, the resting phase, and then there's the shedding phase. And you also know that, you're not in the postpartum stage anymore. So, and you're not experiencing stress. So you don't know where this could be triggering. Another thing that could actually be saying that your gut is being affected is that you're experiencing a lot of low energy or hormonal imbalances. Like, you didn't even do that much throughout your day, but you're extremely tired. All of this could be signs that your gut is affected, and it could be affecting your hair as a result. Now, I want to tell you that these are not random. These are signals to look at the deeper issue, which is your gut. But we want to tie it back in to our faith. So, the Lord, He calls us to steward our body. And so, if you've found yourself in any of those signs, then you want to take a second and pause and be like, Lord, where am I imbalanced at? Or where am I lacking nutrients at? Or is this a sign that my gut is actually being affected? Because as a steward, we want to be sure that we're taking the time to actually pay attention to these signals and address it rather than move on and continue with our hair routine. We also want to say encourage and be patient in these hidden seasons, because like I said, your hair is constantly growing. But if you've experienced any of those signs, it just may not be retaining its length or showing its sign of growth in this time. So as you address the root issue, please be patient and know that when you start to address those issues, then your hair as a result is going to be restored, and it's going to show that restoration. So here are some small steps that we can do as far as having that mindset to steward our bodies the way that the Lord has intended us to. First, we want to make sure we give it to Him, but we also want to do some things on our own, which is support our digestion. So this comes to play with when it comes to like mindful eating, not eating a lot of processed foods, and also paying attention to when we're full and not overeating, as well as reducing inflammatory foods. And so, yes, if you like a lot of greasy foods, a lot of fried foods, you want to take a break from that, because this could also be causing your gut health to be triggered. Another thing you want to do is to simplify your routines. So less product overload. It's nothing that you're doing with your products, or it could be, but as far as right now, you want to make sure that how you're eating your foods and how you're absorbing those nutrients, those are prioritized, top priority, and not overwhelming your hair with more products. Your body isn't failing you, but it's actually protecting you. So we just have to pay attention to those signs to look at how the Lord is calling us in this season. So if this episode has given you a new perspective on your hair journey, then please share this with another woman who feels stuck in her growth. And if you're ready to go deeper into your healing with your hair from the inside out, make sure you're subscribed. I'll be walking you through this step by step because I have been through this and I understand exactly how it feels. I will talk to you in my next episode. I pray you have a great day. Bye, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share with a friend who may want to care for their hair without overwhelm and confusion? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to feel the love when I know the podcast is helping you. Well, I'm off to care for my crown, drink my water, and stop touching my hair. I'll meet you back on Tuesday for another quick episode. Love ya!